Good afternoon and welcome back. This is US Home Talk. We are live every Wednesday at noon and on demand at ushometalk.com or wherever you guys find your podcasts. We are your hosts, Marcus Walgrave with the South Dakota Home Team, powered by Hague Realtors, Jason Walgrave with the Walgrave Real Estate Group at RE/MAX Advantage Plus, and Mike Overson with Luminate Home Loans. We'll be taking all of your questions today during the show. Anything and everything real estate. Our call-in number is 612-234-7585, or you guys can leave us a message in the comment section on Facebook as well. Good afternoon, guys. How are we doing today?
Doing great. Great to be here.
Good afternoon. I'm on the West Coast, so it's still morning for me.
Mike, I was thinking about you. It was like 10 seconds before the show started. I'm like, what did Mike say last week about, referencing, it's not afternoon for people over on the West Coast right now. It's morning. What was it? Good day? Good day, mate?
Yeah,
that's what it was. It was good day. Yeah. You in Australia. But hey, we're going to have a great show today. We talk real estate on this podcast of ours here, and so you guys can watch any of our past shows on our website, ushometalk.com. If you want to interact with us, shoot us some messages on Facebook and the comment section. You can always kind of give us a call or shoot us a text as well on our hotline, 612-234-7585. Today we got a fun topic. We're going to be talking about how to make your old home a smart home. Now, we were talking about this earlier this week. Are old homes dumb homes? I mean, is that fair to say? Mm-hmm. Am I going to get canceled for calling our old homes dumb homes?
Some of is them. That the PC? What would be the PC version of dumb homes? Challenged.
Not as smart homes.
Technology challenged homes.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah,
we don't want to get in trouble with anybody. So
no, we're super concerned about being politically correct, aren't we?
Yes. So with this, when we kind of look at some smart homes, a lot has gone on and gone in the smart home industry, that sector, and obviously anybody who is building a new home, you're kind of forced right into it, and for a lot of good reasons for that is for that matter of fact. But the thing is that it's starting to get to a point where you don't need to be talking about buying a newer home or building a brand new home to get a smart home. I went online and when I wanted to talk about this topic with you guys, I just did a Google search and it was like, I'm going to see if I can find some good talking points and things that maybe I haven't thought of. And I came across a really good website. It was a company. Funny enough, it was a company out of Australia. And they of everything that I came across, they kind of defined it best out of everything. I think initially, when we think smart homes, we kind of maybe default to the obvious, right? Some lights, things of that nature, but it's far greater than a couple lights or something like that. So we're going to try to cover all that stuff here today. Do you guys have some smart home features?
Well, I mean, I'm in my home, so does that count?
That's challenge.
That's the opposite, Jason.
That's challenge. Yeah,
that's
sorry,
challenge.
bro.
That's definitely challenged.
You need, yeah, maybe, I guess.
Maybe.
What's your IQ sitting at today?
I'm sitting at like 139.
That's pretty good. But I mean, we built a couple years ago, and we've talked about this on our show previously about energy saving, and I think that's kind of a lot of the default to it. But if we just try to define what a smart home is, anything that we're in a sense using some modern technology, and that's the nice thing with what we got going on today is you don't need to have a new construction home. We have apps that can talk to devices, so some people say, okay, well, do we need to have, high-speed internet and Wi-Fi that can control it? Not necessarily the case. If you have a smartphone, there's products out there that, your smartphone will communicate to the product, through a Bluetooth connection, and you don't even need to have internet connection to have, some smart some smart features in your home. Another thing that can make a smart home is to have smart assistants. When we talk about some smart assistants, think about the big ones, right? We have Amazon, Alexa, Google, the Google Assistant, Microsoft Cortana, Apple Siri, and then Samsung is Bixby. Personally, I mean, I kind of like to use Google, but Amazon's got some really nice products out there as well. So, Alexa seems to be a name that gets brought up in my house, more often than I'd probably care for. But there she is. We're talking about her in the evening, and so you have that, and then another way to make a home smart is for automation features. So we're going to kind of go over some of these things here today. When we talk about having that personal smart assistant, do you guys have a preference in who you like to chat with?
Well, I usually just talk to myself, but when I'm not available, then we have I think we've got 3 or 4 Alexas in the home, and it's pretty interesting because the kids a lot of the times, they listen to music on there, but I find them asking questions. Theodore, for example, he's constantly asking Alexa, what was the score of the game today? And he'll ask for stats. Who's the number 1 quarterback in the NFL right now? And which I get a kick out of that when they're using the technology to get questions answered, and it's pretty incredible. I was at a client's house last week, and they just got a new smart refrigerator, and it's got it's a big screen on it, right? And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a beautiful looking fridge, but then it has this screen that's connected to everything. It's connected to Netflix, the internet. It's connected to their front door, their Ring doorbell, and so, and it happened when we were there and we're in the kitchen and someone came to the door and the fridge lights up, and the camera's on who's at the front door right on their fridge, and so it was pretty cool. I mean, I've seen those in ads before, but I haven't seen one in person. And it was pretty neat. And then they were talking about how, when they're cooking or they're doing stuff in the kitchen, they can put some Netflix on, or they had this draw feature where the kids can come and draw and stuff. And it was neat. I mean, it was really cool. And this was not a brand new home. This was an existing home that they brought in the technology and then hooked it up to everything that was already there. So pretty cool.
That's a pretty fresh idea.
Stop. Man, we're clever this morning.
We are.
Dad jokes. That's what I'm talking about.
But to your point, I mean, a pre-existing home can become smart very easily. And one of the reasons why people are looking for these smart devices is for that automation. For that automation. What do you mean by home automation? Remote climate control, programmable events, energy efficiency. When I was kind of doing my Google search here and looking up some of these smart home features, we've been joking on this show all year long about the air filter. It's like, hey, don't forget about the air filter. Well, they're selling air filters now that have, in a sense, a way to communicate that'll alert your phone and say, hey, your air filter's dirty. You got to change it. I mean, it's like our phones never seem to leave our side, regardless of what your career path is. We have them and we use them for information. And I mean, what a neat feature. I mean, I can't imagine that the filter itself is able to stay affordable, with that feature. But nonetheless, I mean, if maybe you have some health concerns and Air quality is very important, and you just getting that alert. And I mean, you guys know it. I mean, in the winter months, I mean, I crack my door open or the windows open periodically, maybe once a week, and try to get the pressure to get stabilized in the house, or just simply get fresh air in there. But not a lot of airflow. But then it's like, hey, when we get in spring or summer or fall and we got those nice days, where the high is low 70s and the lows are, in the 60s, it's like all windows open, all doors are open, fresh air. And obviously your filters are going to probably collect a little bit more, during those months. So, those during those months, instead of, right now I have a 30-day reminder on my calendar, hey, you got to go change the filter. Maybe they need to get changed a little bit sooner during those months than they would, or maybe I can kind of extend them a couple more weeks in the winter months. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. I hadn't heard of that, a filter, air filter that had that type of tech in it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's the filter or the furnace?
No, no. From my understanding, it was the filter. It was the filter it is the actual filter. Yeah, there's something,
that's cool.
Something in there. So I thought that was super neat. I mean, we all kind of do the remote climate control, upgrading your thermostat. Again, I mean, these are some of the basics ones that we're all pretty familiar with. Nest Home products. One of the big nice features of that is you can schedule your thermostat. Okay, well, we're gone at work, we're gone at school. It doesn't need to be really cool, or it doesn't need to be really warm while we're gone. So we're gonna adjust the temperature, save some energy during that time period. But when we're gonna come home, it's going to readjust. I came across here recently where some of the thermostats you can set up to be GPS setting. Meaning that they're linking with your smartphone or watch or whatever it might be, and when you get X amount of distance from home, it knows that you're heading home, and then it's going to turn on. So
That's really cool.
It was really cool. I mean, again, a lot of we're spending a lot more time in our homes, working remotely in our at-home offices, and I mean, I know there's definitely times when I'm done with work a little bit early, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to get my girls from school a little bit early. I'm going to get home. If it's one of those hot days and I'm coming home an hour before the schedule comes off and we get in the house, it's like, whoo, it's hot. I'm sweating, trying to give them baths. I'm literally sweating. And I'm like, oh, geez, it would have been nice if, hey, Marcus and the girls are coming home and they're about 2 miles away or 5 minutes away. We're going to go ahead and start cooling off the house and get them ready for when they get here. I mean, I thought that was a neat feature, something I hadn't read about yet or seen.
I like it. I like that.
I need something like that for the ice house.
Oh,
When I get close enough to the ice house, I'm heading out there. It flips it on, turns the heat on, so it's all warm in there. When you get in, that'd be money.
Well, again, I mean, the interesting thing is it's just this is getting the technology is getting more advanced, but when it does that, it starts to plateau in terms of cost. It becomes more affordable, and then you start seeing the cost kind of start dropping down. So where maybe right now it is in a sense only used for homes. I mean, down the road, we might be seeing that with or people who could maybe set up their vehicles and they get done with work, and then once they turn off their light switch in the office, that means the car turns on automatically. So there's some really neat automations out there. When we think about like who uses automation, right? It's people who just want to have a better home. Again, you don't need to have a new home to have a better home. Having these automation features are really cool. People with disabilities. I think when you start initially, maybe when this started coming into play, it was just kind of a cool extra feature in the new construction world. But if you think about it, if you have a disability, and being able to control your light switches and your plugins and your appliances, Jason, you talked about the refrigerator. I know this has been a feature that's been going on for a while, but refrigerators that can tell when your milk is getting low. And then it just go ahead and orders it from the grocery store, and maybe you have your groceries delivered from the grocery store. What a great feature for somebody who it is a task, a large task to be able to, okay, I have to get to a different room. I got to get to, phone or whatever it might be, and order these things. Our appliances are starting to become automated. Washers and dryers, in a sense that you can set them. Okay, well, I don't really want to listen to my dryer because it's near my bedroom, but I don't want to forget about it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the laundry in there, and then I'm going to have it turn on, when everybody's up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That automation is super helpful. So for care and family members, you talked about your kids and my kids as well. It is kind of nice too. When a tough question gets brought up, how big is the earth? Jason, I mean, how big is it? It's like, well, I'm not real certain. But it's kind of fun to be able to, let's find out how big is the earth here? Are we talking about weight or, the circumference? What is it? So that's kind of some fun things to do. Other reason why people want to have automated homes is to maybe assist with the elderly. Maybe you have a parent that lives nearby, but is getting up there in age, or a grandparent, and you simply just want to be able to communicate with them easily. And these smart home features, products are allowing you to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's stuff from even like, lights. I mean, I've got another client, and their home is. They built it in 2017, so about 5 years old. 6 years old, and they were definitely at the forefront of technology at the time. They have full audio controls, like controlled verbally throughout the house. So they'll just walk through the house and lights on, or all lights off, and so some pretty cool stuff. Tech is fun, right? I love technology. Oftentimes I have a difficulty working technology, but then my wife saves me, so that's good. But there's some really neat stuff, and it's always, improving, whether it's entertainment purposes or it's just, lifestyle or comfort purposes. There's some really cool stuff that they're putting in homes now.
Don't forget about security. You talked about the doorbells but it is something again where you can have this stuff linked to your phone. Doorbells, deadbolts. I think we all kind of like that feature, that idea, especially if you got little kids who might be coming home from school or maybe walk to a friend's house. And these are communicating with some apps on our smartphones. So it can let you know, say, okay, well, I know, one of my kids said they were going to go play with the neighbor. I'm downstairs working or doing a project or out back with the other kids or whatever it might be. And you say, God, I wonder if they locked the door behind them when they left. Or they said they were going to be back at noon and it's 12:30. Maybe they just came home and they went up to their bedroom. You can see that and see if has anybody opened the front door, recently. So, so the home security is really nice. I mean, obviously the cameras as well, not just the doorbell cameras, but security cameras from that people put around the under the soffits around the houses. You can individually select those cameras and see what's going on. If you have a backyard that might be wilderness, you probably will be picking up a lot of wildlife, on your cameras, but still it's kind of cool to see what's going on. We talk about remote access, a little bit of that as well in terms of, controlling your temperature from your phone or unlocking doors with your phone, turning lights on remotely. Maybe that somebody's going to be coming to visit, but they're going to beat you to it. They're going to get to your house before you are going to get done with work or wherever you're coming from. You say, well, I don't want them to come into a dark house. I'm going to go ahead and unlock that front door. I'm going to get all the lights turned on and I'm going to turn on some music for them too. That's all the kind of the cool, fun things that you can do with it, with these smart home features.
Mm-hmm. Cool stuff.
when we talk about like what can I automate in a home right now, it's pretty much everything, right? It doesn't seem like there's anything that's limited to it. As we talk lights, doors, security cameras, blinds. Some of us really want to have that south facing home, to help melt the snow during the winter months here. I guess maybe that's just specifically to us up north, but or that homeowner that lives on a lake, and they want to have the house on the west side so they can see the sunrises, or vice versa. They want to see the sunsets. It's like, okay, well, if you have a house that's facing a sunset or a sunrise, or south facing, those sides of the house, they get warm. So maybe you can have those automatic blinds that turn on and help keep the house cool, during those really hot days, and help with the cooling and heating throughout the year. So a lot of super cool features out there for smart homes. I think one question kind of gets brought up: well, how much is this going to cost? How much do I need to spend to get a smart home? I think that's a fair question that gets asked. Sure. And really, I mean, it just kind of obviously depends on what you're trying to do. Jason, you referenced the clients of yours that maybe was it a new construction home that they did, and then they took the advantage of a new construction, had that fully automated speakers and
it was.
And
yep,
yeah.
They built it in 2017. Yep, they built it. So when you're, like you mentioned earlier in the show, when you're building, it gives you an opportunity to kind of do some things up front, maybe save a little bit in cost, but today's technology is most of it's wireless anyway, and so you go back 10, 15 years, and homes we were building, we were putting Cat 5 wiring throughout, just so that we could, connect, in every room, and that isn't even necessary anymore. I mean, everything's dang near wireless, and so it gives you an opportunity to take an older home and update it to become a smart home.
Yeah, and if you are starting from scratch in new construction and you want everything, I mean, you can expect to spend thousands of dollars, and to create a smart home. The smart appliances are definitely high end. They're definitely more expensive, whether that's your kitchen appliances or your laundry appliances. And just having, in a sense, that central smart system that controls lighting, audio throughout the house as well. But you don't need to spend thousands of dollars. I mean, you can buy these products from the big box stores, like plugins that communicate to apps that you already have on your phone, and so you can start making your old home smart for a couple $100, and kind of start from there and say what are some features that we really want to have that are smart. Maybe it is just simply that doorbell or that deadbolt. Maybe it is more for you like to have people come over for the games, and you want to be able to change your light, your light settings when they come over for entertainment. You can get there and start doing those things for hundreds of dollars. And so it can be affordable to start making your home, an older home, into a smart home. Mm-hmm. Guys, as always, we're very thankful for you guys to come on and listen to us here on US Home Talk. As our show comes to an end, we just want to say thank you very much. And you guys can always tune in live and watch us on Facebook, or you can find us on our website and watch our past shows on ushometalk.com. And as always, thank you very much for tuning in.